Hey, I'm Charlee Drew. Check out my interview on ADTV. It is what it is.
Good afternoon, Mr. Charlee Drew. I'm saying your name right?
You said my name right.
Okay. Now, first off, I actually even went to the Skepta Tour. The one in Highbury in Islington.
Okay.
These are two. So when I was reading up about you, and it was said that you helped direct some of the tours. What exactly would that involve? What would you actually be doing?
Well, I put together all the musicians for it, so like they were all people that I knew, and I put them together and we worked out the arrangements and sort of like who was going to play what and where. And I, because obviously we played to track to keep a lot of the original sounds from the songs in there, so I did all the backing tracks and made sure that everything was sort of like on point with that.
Isn't that a lot of stress though, to having to deal with different types of, from the production to also performance? I mean, how are you able to manage all of that?
It comes naturally. Like I genuinely enjoyed it, and like I had more to do probably than any of the other guys on the tour. But it made it enjoyable for me. I think because I was watching something that I'd put a lot of effort into come to life.
So you got the single "You Did Me a Favour."
Yeah.
Right. So obviously you're pushing this, and the EP is also by the same name.
Yeah.
Give me kind of like, a timeline of when you actually conceptually started thinking about putting together this body of work.
Well, it's been coming for a while. Like by the start of this year, I was ready to start focusing fully on sort of starting to put out records, and things take quite a while. So I think by February we'd got an EP ready to go, and it was just like a case of making sure everything else was in place and making sure that it had the best impact that it could get. And I think we're there. Like it's been as well received as I could have hoped for, and so like everything's moving in the right direction.
How do you critique then what goes on it? Like when you make a song, because I think as an artist, when you make a song, you automatically think it's good enough to be on an EP. So how do you decide what goes on and what comes off?
I think automatically when you write a song, you think this is the best song ever. And it's whether or not in a week, when you listen back to it, you think, is this still a good song or not? And I think it's only when you've got a fresh set of ears that you know whether or not that you were right.
Yeah. But then with that being said, so how many tracks are we going to get in EPs of that?
It's only 3. Like it's just a taster. But there's 2 remixes that You Did Me a Favour on there. But there's just 3, and it's literally just a taster to say sort of like this is me, this is the sound that you can expect, and sort of like it's just to say keep watching. So
you're based in Leicester.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the scene like musically out there? Is there a difference between that's Midlands, is it? Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Is there a different sound from Midlands to like London or?
Well, I mean, I spend a lot of time working within the London music scene, so I don't see a lot of what's in Leicester. But there's not a whole heap of pop stuff around there. There's quite a lot of rap and like a lot of but it's very there's lots of sort of like folky stuff and stuff like that, and it's something that I'm not particularly like into. So it's always been that London's the centre of pop, and that's why I spend so much time here, and I have done for quite a while.
So You Did Me a Favour. When can you try and describe to me the actual studio experience of actually recording it, and how you actually first came up with it?
Well, it's funny, like, You Did Me a Favour is actually produced by a guy called Rob Wells. He's done that stuff for like Justin Bieber and like loads of like massive acts. And he's in Canada, so we did it, me and a guy called Matt Marston. We were in London and he was in Canada on Skype, and so we'd literally be flying ideas across Skype. So I've never met Rob, man, but we've just had face chats on Skype. And we just flew ideas across, and then sort of when we got the bones of the track, I took it back to my studio and kind of just polished everything up, and I tracked all the vocals at my place and did all the vocal production on it and stuff. So yeah, like it was a fun experience though, like doing something through.
What is your situation? Are you an independent artist, or like, because that's the part which I'm not sure of, like, what is your recording situation now?
I'm still an independent artist until the time is right, like, and the home is right for me. Everything's got to feel right. You know, when I'm prepared to walk in and say this is what I'm giving you and this is what we're doing, and then you know we'll find the right time and place and home.
What like briefly around it, what lessons have you learned like in the last couple of years in terms of, you know, working within the music business?
Not to listen, just to do, and never listen. Like, because people talk, and people really talk, and so like, you know, there's so many things that haven't happened that are supposed to have happened, and just never listen, just do and keep doing until something does happen, and never say. Okay.
I like that. Closing, how important, because I'll give my perception quick. I think social media is almost becoming too involved in artists today. It seems like everything has to be social media led. As an artist, how much focus and emphasis do you have to put on the Twitters, the Facebook, the YouTubes, you know, to actually really get your fan base?
Well, I think it serves a you know, purpose, and it also means you get to interact with people, and I think it's so much easier for me now to talk to people that like my music. And so when somebody tweets me and say, oh, I like this song, then I know they like that song, and I can reply to them and thank them, and I like the personal level of it all. You're probably right, it probably is a bit too involved, but it's also good as well, you know, like if I've not got, you know, between You Did Me a Favour and the next song I put out, it could be a month, it could be 2 months, but I can keep it interested and keep people interested in me just by talking about what's going on, and people feel like they're more involved, and I think it gives a better relationship between sort of like the music buyers and the music makers, you know.
So closing, where can people get you on Twitter, and also the date for the EP and the single?
So on Twitter I'm at Charlee Drew, 2 E's, no I. And then You Did Me a Favour is out September 16th on iTunes. You can pre-order it now, or maybe you can buy it now, because I don't know what date it is.
The pre-orders are doing pretty well though, isn't it?
Yeah, the pre-orders have done well, man. We got quite high up in the singer-songwriter chart.
Just because, are you really looking, like, do you get like, you wake up and think, okay, how many have you done today? So you stay away from that?
I don't care.
Really?
Like, at this point, I just want people to, like, you know, if I could afford to, I'd give it away for free at this point, just so people can hear it. But like, you know, I can't. Like, and if I could, but so much, you know, the music video, things like that, it all costs money that I've just got to try and get a bit back, you know. But other than like, it's just about people hearing the music and catching on to what's going on.